Hello, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, then hi! I have a Resiners Purifier. The lovely people at Resiners sent me a message saying, would you like to review the Purifier? And I was like, does a fish swim? That's a yes. So I got this the week, last week? Was it last week or was it this week? I don't know what week I'm on, never mind. And I opened it, and here's the instruction booklet, the user manual, shall put it poshly. And it gives you all the things you need to know, like your safety information, package contents, how you need to know your pure air and specifications. It's all in there for you. And it even tells you you've got a 12-month warranty guaranteed, and the service support is 24/7, which is very good. This cable, it's immense. It's so long. I didn't expect a really long cable, even though I've watched everybody else's and tried to retain information. You don't really notice the depth of something on a screen. So I was trying to show you how long it was, but then you would have seen the whole of my house because it's that long. It feels that long anyway. It reaches from one side of my desk all the way over to the other side of my desk, which is two desks put together in a corner. You'll have to excuse the state of everywhere. I'm having to now move things to get my pure air in. So my unicorn's got to go, my coffin's got to go, and my dual head mixer's got to be moved somewhere else. I had it all nicely squared off. And this is not the place it's going to stay, because it just doesn't work. Please read all this information, it's very important, and I've also put it there in case I forgot to say it, because I know what I'm like. Now, it fits snugly there, but where I'd got my dual lead mixer, it just wasn't working right for me. So I've had to move it, and it's better where it is actually. You'll see it in a bit because I'm going to test it out a little bit. I'm going to make some coasters. Well, sort of coasters. I'm not really taking much notice of what I'm doing, it's just chuck things in and see what happens. Now, this is the filter, and I couldn't read the writing, so it could do with being a bit bigger, but that's me because I've got bad eyes. I put it actually to the screen so I could see what it said. Oh dear. And I thought I'd have trouble putting the cable in. Not a problem at all. What I did have trouble with was holding the actual top part of the unit. So yeah, I just made that bigger so you can see and I can see. I was having a really bad fibro day and everything was hurting, so this felt like it weighed a ton. It doesn't, it just felt like that, and I was really struggling not to drop it. But I got that cable in a dream. It was brilliant. I was so surprised. Now, getting it together, because I didn't look at the instructions, did I? I was just hoping and praying it would work, and I'm like, why won't you go in? What's going on? So yeah, I did faff a little bit with this. Other people have done it a lot quicker. Trust them. Don't trust me. I struggled. It's all my fault. But it's a rather big beast, and when it's working, it's quite noisy too. So if you're planning on doing videos when it's working and you can't get rid of that sound, I suggest, doing a bit of a voiceover for that bit. I do leave the sound in a bit so you get to hear how loud it is. Now, these numbers, you've got humidity, and you've got filter life indicator, timer indicator, which goes up to 9. Doesn't go any higher than that. Now, I've just sprayed some alcohol, and immediately, straight away, red. That smelt the alcohol before I did, which is very surprising, because, like I said, I've got a very sensitive nose. You've got temperature on there that goes to Fahrenheit and Celsius, and you've got your humidity, and it goes up to 9999 straight away when it finds something that's that toxic, 'cause alcohol spray is toxic. And this is fast forwarded, but it only took about 20 minutes. In fact, I don't even think it was that, before it completely got rid of that smell. Well, not the smell, but the VOCs in the air. The smell was gone practically straight away, and it came down really quickly with the alcohol, because obviously alcohol evaporates into the air anyway, so once it had done its due, it didn't need to keep working. See, lovely. Now, I'm trying my cheap resin, because I wanted to see if it would go off if the bottles were sat outside of it, if it mixed, and if I added things to it. Now, I'm making quite a lot because these coaster moulds are huge. I don't like to do these ones very often, and I'm having to put it into a bigger cup. But you can see in the little window, there is no problems, no issues. It's nice and green. It's not even, now and again it did kind of flash a little bit yellow. Thought about it, but then it's like, no, it's okay, it's fine. And this is on auto at the minute. Now I'm mixing it up on my dual head mixer. As you can see, I've moved it around again, and I'm also mixing the paste really close to it, and I shall also be using mica and alcohol drops. I do forget to show you the alcohol drops going in, but you do see the machine changing colour. So we've used pigment paste, we'll use mica powders, and we're using alcohol inks. So you can see I'm mixing it right next to the machine. It's fine. It's not got to worry. And I've also mixed my resin, and they're going into 2 different pots. And I'm going to add my mica. And again, I'm going to do it really close up to it, just so it gets the full effect. And I'm going to mix right next to it. And then we'll see how it goes again. Now, I was surprised. I expected this to go off, and it didn't. It was completely fine, not a problem. I even sat it there waiting just to see if anything happened. Nothing. So for cheap resin, this is really good resin. Even the mica is Resiners actually, didn't do a thing. And it sat there waiting. I kept waving it underneath just to see if it spotted it. Oh dear. I'm going to leave the sound in for a little while. Alcohol spray set it off, but it doesn't go green yet, because now my resin's warming up, so we're having that reaction. So it's going to now keep going until it starts to harden. I'll be honest, I seriously didn't think anything would work, but you know, I've got bad eyes. Well, I've got dry eyes. I have to put eye drops in, otherwise I can't see straight. And my eyes were less stingy. They didn't hurt as much or feel as dry after this had been running. And I always sit next to my resin to make sure I can keep an eye on it and keep the cats away if they decide to come downstairs. Most of the time I do it when they're upstairs. But you know, there's always that one chance that they might come down. And I like to make sure I keep my eye on it, so I'm really close to the resin all the time. And I do recommend PPE, but I don't use it for medical reasons. If I wear a mask, it bothers my eyes. I can't wear gloves because I've got no feeling, but I do recommend it, and so do resiners. I'm not going to tell you what to do. You are a grown adult, so you make your own choices. And my resin is now getting warmer. It's just not quite warm enough, but you can see it's still red in the top corner, and it's still working, and it's very loud, but I've cut that out. So it's warm enough now, and I'm going to start pouring it into my rounds. Not my rounds. What are they called? Oh, coasters. Coasters. And all the time I'm watching and just looking at it, seeing, are you going to go green? Are you going to go green? Green. And it's not. It's going to stay red all the while until it starts to cure. And I'm pouring it now. I should have left this for the push. But like I said, I'm not doing anything in particular with these. I'm just putting 2 colours together and hoping and praying something pretty comes out. 3 colours, I mean. So, the mica powder fluffing in the air didn't bother it. The resin being mixed didn't bother it. But, once the reaction started and it started getting warmer, and it had been already set off by the alcohol, that's when it decided, no, we need to start working now. Keep going, keep going. There's problems. And I must admit my eyes are nowhere near as sore, so I am very thankful. And I am also saying sorry, because I honestly didn't think they worked. And they do. I mean, they give you this pamphlet thing to look through to see what you can say and stuff, and I thought, I'll be honest. I would never be fake about something. Do I think it's very loud? Yes, I do. But that's because I like to watch videos at the same time as I'm creating, and I really did have to turn up my videos. That's not an issue. Is there a thing that does bother me? Yes. And that's the filter. The fact it's not either self-cleaning or something that you can clean and keep reusing. I mean, don't get me wrong, 6 months is a very long time before you have to replace it, but depending on how much you've used it. But all I can see is this goes into landfill. And that, I don't like that. Because it's just waste. And I like to recycle as much as I can. You all know I like to save cardboard. I have lots of cardboard just so I could use it. I don't like chucking it in the bin. We have recyclings, but if it's nice cardboard, I'll keep it. So yeah, that's the only grumble I've got with this, is the fact that the filter has to be replaced rather than reused. You can keep it clean longer by hoovering it, or very slightly damp cloth and just wiping the sides, obviously not plugged in, and leaving it to properly dry. But yeah, maybe they'll think of that next time, to have a reusable filter. I mean, you can get hoovers with it now, so well, why not? And so it has gone green, and I don't know, yeah, it had gone green while I'd poured it, almost as if to say, this is fine now. So it must be, once it gets thicker, then it's okay. But then I dropped the alcohol inks in, and it was like, nope, don't like you. And these are cured, and you can see, just see, it's green. So when they're cured and off the heat, not a problem. But I do have to have heat because it's really cold in here. and we're England, so, you know, and I don't think they turned out really bad. So do I like this product? Yes, I do. Do I like the colour? It matches everything else, so yes, I do. I mean, it even matches my mat. I didn't even realise. I mean, I've got other things from Resiners, but I bought these mats ages ago, and they all match. It's about the only thing in this house that matches. But I do think if they could just change that filter, that would be awesome. And now I'm using UV resin because I wanted to see if that would make it go off. And I'm using Resiners UV, and nothing happened, which is why I'm not showing you. There was no change, not even when it started to cure. Look, just green, still green, all the way through. And then I thought, let's try some cheap resin. You know, the Temu stuff. Now, the Resiners is better than the Temu one because it doesn't smell. Oh, it really does not smell. Whereas the cheap one smells. Now, I expected this one to make the machine go off because of the smell. But it didn't. So your UV resins are okay with this machine. This machine says they're alright. I mean, don't go around sticking your head around it and sniffing it all the time. That would give you a headache. And always be careful with it. But they didn't have any VOCs for the machine to go off, which is brilliant. So now I feel a bit more secure in using UV. Even when it was being under the UV light and cooking, it was not an issue. I'm trying to get that level because my table's not level. But yeah, I'm definitely chuffed that my eyes aren't so sore. I always have sore eyes after using resin, and they were nowhere near as bad. And it's still all on green, all good, and I like it very much, so thank you very much, Resiners. And again, excuse my rubbish, but yeah, I definitely like it. I think it could be a little cheaper, I'm gonna be honest, but can you really put a price on health? I'm just glad that my eyes aren't sore. So thank you for watching. The discount codes will be down below, and the link to Resiners and the Purifier and anything else that you might want to have a discount code from. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.